Hospital Porter's pride and dignity stop the New World Order. Welcome to Hapanwo TV on VidMe. It's finally happened. Can you believe it? That song I just played, Rule Britannia. It's a song, of course everyone knows that song, but it used to feel very establishment to me. It used to feel very part of the authorities. It used to have that kind of tone in my ears. But in the last 2 years or so, it's taken on a different feel. It's actually started to sound somewhat countercultural, recalcitrant, even subversive. And it's strange how things can change. Yes, it's been a long drawn out process, hasn't it, since the 23rd of June last year. 8 months and 6 days, that's how long it took. All the denial, all the disbelief, all the bargaining, recrimination, the heel dragging. It's finally over. On Wednesday the 29th of March 2017, the Prime Minister Theresa May sent a letter to Donald Tusk, the President of the European Council, formally announcing Britain's departure from the European Union in accordance with Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty. Now this letter is it's very positive actually. It seeks cooperation, it seeks friendly relations between the UK and the EU. And it addresses many of the concerns that people have about the makeup of a future independent Britain. The economic concerns perhaps being outside the common market, the political divisions, the political difficulties of dealing as an independent nation, social obstacles, say EU citizens living within Britain, things like that. This letter deals with all these things in a very, very magnanimous way, in an attempt at resolution. There's a definite. The tone of the letter is the one which seeks a resolution, an amicable resolution for everybody. So what's going to happen now? We're going to go through a period of a maximum of 2 years where there will be a series of negotiations to organise Britain's new relationship with the continent and the rest of the world. And it's honestly, I did breathe a sigh of relief. I would have made a video about this at the time last Wednesday, but I was away at the High Wycombe Paranormal Meetup group, so I couldn't. But there was a part of me that always doubted it and thought, this can't happen. The manipulators are going to find some way to wriggle out of this. And God knows they've tried, haven't they? Everybody. Even Richard Dickie Dawkins, as I said on a previous video. They even had him on his side. Oh yeah, as I said before, they're quite happy. They had a whole army of sort of like champagne socialists to back them up, calling for advisory, not binding. It was only 50. It was only 52%. Things like that. All the other excuses the Ramonas were making. No, the Ramonas are still wailing. I mean, they've wailed anew. They have to whine and wail all the time, don't they? They're going to carry on doing it. They won't stop. But even now we're past Article 50, they're still going to whinge and whine and do their usual thing, But even the portents of doom they are giving us now are really fatalistic from their point of view, because they know there's no turning back. It's been done. It's a fait accompli. Article 50 has been triggered. There's no going back now. If Godzilla is inevitably coming to march through the countryside, tearing up the cities, catching fighter jets in his teeth, then no nuclear torpedo is going to stop him. Now, during the Leave campaign, Boris Johnson, I've got mixed feelings about personally, he suggested that June the 23rd should be our Independence Day. And that's not a bad idea, but what about March the 29th? Because that's the day of Article 50. But perhaps we could have 2 Independence Days. That'd be nice too. Why 2 for the price of 1? Either way, I mean, on those days you're going to hear, as Charlton Heston, Ben-Hur, said in the famous film, he said, he talked about the Roman Empire, but it applies just as much to the European Union, which is a very similar entity, in fact. You'll hear, when the day it falls, you'll hear a shout of freedom that the world has never heard. And that's true. And I just, as I said before, I'm so proud of the British people for daring to stand up. I mean, the song I played at the beginning, Rule Britannia, has the words Britain's never, never, never shall be slaves. And this is what that song means. It's events like this, which Brexit, which actually prove that. It's true, we shall never be slaves. I'm so proud of the British people because you dared. They threw everything they could at you. Lies. They lied to you. They tried to make you feel guilty. They called you a racist. They called you a bigot. They said you were little Englanders. They said you were white van drivers. They threatened you with all kinds of future predictions of woe, and you still stood your ground, and you still did what was right, and you dared. And if you can dare about this, you can dare about other things. I'm so proud of the British people and to be British myself. I'm not a nationalist, but at times like this I understand patriotism. I really do. I consider myself Welsh, surely. It's not just British, but I do understand patriotism. I really do. And of course, I mean, the Ramonas, like I said, I mean, I know Ramonas. I've got Ramonas in my family. I've got Ramonas who are still friends with me, believe it or not. But they still go like that. You know, the moment you enter that great fighting pit called Facebook, you know, they ask me, you know, why do you support this? You know, I always reply now with a gasp of mock confusion. You know, why? Why do you want your country to be free? I mean, why do you want your country to be free? Would you ask that question of an Irish rebel in 1918? Would you ask that question of Nehru or Gandhi in 1947? Why do you want your country to be free? Don't you want to be a shackled nation? Don't you want to be a client state to a massive continental empire? Come on now. Oh, I mean, but this is just wonderful. I mean, I think all the Ramonas sort of like disastrous prophecies are going to be shown to be false, completely false. And I think we're going to have a renaissance. I think there's going to. Well, firstly, I think Brexit is the first step in the collapse of the entire New World Order. So it's not just going to be Britain; it's going to be the whole world that's going to be free. And then we're going to have a renaissance. We're going to have a new golden age. I mean, this could be great. I mean, I think this could be the start of so much. I mean, I've already started doing this, but this could become official. We stop using metric measurements. You know, away with the kilometres and the kilograms and stuff like that, and the centimetres. No, it's inches, it's miles, it's pounds and ounces. It's that. That's a good way to start. But also, I mean, this could go further. I mean, I'm in favour of bringing back pounds, shillings and pence, the pre-decimalised currency. This is something I've never experienced because this happened before I was born, that the government decided to decimalise the currency, do away with shillings and have 100 new pence to the pound. And of course, this was just before the Heath government actually signed us into the common market. So it was very obvious that the decimalisation was to be the first stage towards European currency harmonisation. In other words, the euro. This was the first step towards getting Britain into the euro. Thank God they failed. I think we should bring back pounds, shillings and pence. Oh man, there's times to warn, there's times to talk about the bad things in life, and there is sometimes times to celebrate the good things in life and the good things, the achievements we've made, the optimism, the times to be optimistic. I mean, I've talked about this before, but 2016 is the most incredible year of my life and in living memory in terms of politics. I mean, for the first time ever, I started making predictions that didn't come true. Once I first discovered the presence of the hidden hand, I could make predictions and they would come true. Like I predicted there'd be a terrorist attack in 2005, and it happened. But I made predictions for 2016 that completely failed. I said that the Remain vote would win. I said that Donald Trump couldn't possibly become US president. The evidence is all there. It's on the Her Panwo Voice blog. It's on Her Panwo TV on YouTube. It's all there. I'm not taking it down. It's on Her Panwo Radio as well. And I was completely and utterly wrong. Now, there's not many possibilities here. One possibility is there is no hidden hand, and I've just been fooling myself for the last the part of my lifetime that I've actually been involved in this. But another possibility is the hidden hand, for the first time ever, is losing its grip. And there's a major snafu in the engine room that has resulted in the power structures of this world, which normally take their orders from head office, are not getting those communications. And so aberrations like Trump, like Brexit, and hopefully Marine Le Pen in a few weeks' time, there'll be more of that. And gradually, bit by bit, things will start to fall apart. It's a wonderful time to be alive. For the first time ever, as that song goes by Tracy Chapman, finally the tables are starting to turn. That's how I feel. That's how I feel it is. So, yeah, I want to see more. Bring it on. Let's have more. To think that I will live to see this day, that within my lifetime, I'm going to see the end of the New World Order and the birth of the new free world, the post-Illuminati world, whatever you want to call it. It's a fantastic feeling, it really is. So I'll be saying more about that, I'm sure, in the future. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching Hapanmo TV on VidMe. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.